السلام عليكم. رقم مناسب.
Madam, we should start now. Let others join in between. Madam, Dr. Sonia Sharma.
Okay, let's start then.
Yes, madam. Please,
yes,
please
sir,
take
I'm here.
over. Sir, yes. So, dear students, today our esteemed resource person, Dr. Sonia Sharma, is available. So she will be taking TS-03 paper. So you all are requested to please put up all your queries in front of her so that she'll be able to respond to your queries. And as such, she'll be presenting to you the important aspects of TS-03. Please listen to her carefully and please cooperate. Thank you very much. Madam, please take over.
Just a second. Yeah, let me share my PPTs. Yeah, dear learners, just a second, what is this? Yeah, so it's nice to see all our this tourism students. I'm Sonia Sharma. I'm the course coordinator of TS-03, which is Management in Tourism. So today we will discuss about I will just give you the brief introduction about TS-03 course. Then we will start with the units or content. Okay, so I just want to have a small introduction of my learners also. As I can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 students are there. So can I have brief introduction? May I start with Cabiro? Just introduce yourself.
Good morning and afternoon to you, ma'am.
Yeah.
My name is Kabiru Bello. I'm from Nigeria.
Okay. And you're enrolled for which program? That also you please tell me, like diploma, bachelor, certificate, which program you enrolled?
Yeah, I'm enrolled in degree. I mean Bachelor's of Arts in Tourism Studies.
Bachelor's in Tourism Studies degree, BTS, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
and what is your qualification?
Yes.
What you have done already?
Yeah, I already have a degree in computer science.
Okay, nice. Very good. Okay. So next student, I can see Sagir.
My name is Sagir Isa from Nigeria.
So please switch on your video. Sagir, I want to see you also. Please switch on your video.
My name is Sagir Isa from Nigeria.
Okay. And for which program you have enrolled, or like bachelor's, diploma? Yes, no, I can see you. Tell me program.
I have an NC in mathematics.
Sorry, which program?
NCE in mathematics.
Like there are certificate program, then there is a diploma, then there is a bachelor's in tourism studies. And out of these programs, in which program you have enrolled?
Thank you.
But anyhow, it's okay. So let's go to the next student. I can see Noora also. Noora, can you introduce yourself?
Good evening, ma'am. My name is Nura
Yeah.
Awaliba from Nigeria. I'm enrolled in Bachelor of Tourism Studies.
Very nice. Bachelor's in Tourism Studies. Very good. And what is your qualification?
Yes. Diploma in Mass Communication.
Okay. Okay, very nice. Yeah, good. And what about the next student? Nura, thank you. Let's go to the next student. Yeah, tell me.
My name is Muhammad Abdullahi. I'm from Nigeria.
Okay. And which program you have enrolled?
Bachelor of Art in Tourism Studies.
Bachelor's in Tourism Studies. Okay, very nice.
Yes.
And we can see one more
Yes.
student. Please introduce yourself.
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Tim Caesar. I'm from Uganda,
Okay.
and I'm doing
Nice.
diploma in tourism. Thank you.
Okay, you're doing diploma in tourism studies.
Yes.
Yeah. So what is your qualification? What you have already done?
Sorry?
What is your qualification? Like before joining this diploma, what you have already done? Which program, which degree?
I have a bachelor's degree in ICT.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And I can see one more student. Thank you. Hamza. Yes, tell me. Hamza, introduce yourself. Hamza Ahmed, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you.
Yeah, tell me, introduce yourself.
You said come again, please, ma'am.
Introduce yourself.
Okay. I'm Hamza Ahmad from Nigeria, from the northern part of the Nigeria, one of the beneficiaries of this great Indian scholarship. And I'm very happy to find myself in this great institution, that's IGNO Indira Gandhi National Open University. And I'm very happy to meet Dr. Sonia.
Okay, nice, same here. And you're enrolled in which program?
Bachelor of Art Tourism. Bachelor in Tourism.
Okay, Bachelor's of Tourism. Very nice. So I'm very happy to see the faces of my students. Now we can, at least we know each other. So let's start with our today's course, that is TS-03, Management in Tourism. Okay, but in the next class, I hope many more students should join. Then only it's a lively interaction, and I can see my student and student can see the teachers. And if we both interact with each other, then it is a more interactive class. Okay, so let us start. Just a second, let me share my PPT. Can you see my PPT? Is it visible?
Yes, it is. We can see.
Okay, fine. So this TS-03, this is one of the course, like students who have enrolled in Bachelor's in Tourism Studies or maybe Diploma in Tourism Studies, because in certificate program, only two courses are there, TS-1 and TS-2. So it is not for certificate in tourism studies program, but it is a part of bachelor's as well as diploma in tourism studies. So today I can see most of the students are from bachelor's in tourism studies. So this course is part of your this thing program, BTS program. Okay. So this TS3, the title is Management in Tourism. So in today's class, we will just cover the block 1. Okay, it has 8 blocks that I will introduce you. But in today's class, we are going to cover only block 1. And block 1 title is Understanding Entrepreneurship and Management. And it has 4 units, right? And I'm the course coordinator. My name you know. So let's start with the little background of the TS3 course. Okay, as TS3, I told you it is Management in Tourism. TS3, that is, yes, it has 8 blocks. Blocks means small 8 booklets are there. Like this TS3 course, we have divided into 8 small booklets. That is, we say blocks. Okay, then each block has few units. Like usually each block has 4 or sometimes 5 units also. But in total, there are 32 units. So in TS3 course, there are 32 units in total. Right, then this will give you you will get an insight of management concepts. After going through this course, you will get an idea about the management concepts. Then we will discuss about the entrepreneurship. Then we will discuss about the management issues in tourism. And next is organizational theory and behavior. Then management functions. In that, planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling will be discussed. Then we have managing financial operations. We will discuss about the financial operations. Then next will be managers and corresponding duties. And then last will be the about conventions and its management. So this is all will be discussed in the TS3. So if we will discuss about the blocks, as I told you, there are 8 blocks. So block 1 has 4 units. Like unit 1, its title is Management, Concepts and Functions. This we are going to discuss in today's class. Then unit 2, that is Entrepreneurship, the Concepts and Functions. Then unit 3 title is Corporate Forms in Tourism. Then unit 4, that is Management Issues in Tourism. So this block 1 will be covered in today's class, right? Then block 2, that we will discuss in the next class. That will be tomorrow. Okay, in block 2, again, there are 4 units. And the title is, unit 5 title is Understanding Organization. Unit 6 is the Planning and Decision Making. Then unit 7, that is Organizing. And unit 8, that is Controlling. Then we will go to the third block. The block 3rd has again 4 units, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, the unit 9, that is Small Group. Then unit 10, that is Interpersonal Behavior. Unit 11, that is Intra-Group Behavior. And unit 12, that is a Supervisory Behavior. Then there is, next will be the block 4. And block 4 again has 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it has 5 units. Okay. Unit 13, that is Human Resource Management, HRM. Then unit 14 will be the Financial Management. Unit 15, that will be the Operations Management. And unit 16, that is the Marketing Management. And then 17 will be Information Technology and Management. Okay, then block 5, that is the Understanding, block 5, yeah, it again has 4 units. And unit 18, that title is Understanding Profit and Loss Account. Unit 19, that is Understanding Balance Sheet. Unit 20, that is a Profitability Analysis. And unit 21 will be the Project Formulation and Appraisal. Then block 6, again it has 4 units. Then unit number 22, the title is Tour Operators. Next is the Travel Agents, then Hotels, and then the Public Relations. Then block 7, it again has 4 units. That is unit number 26 is Food Services. Then next is Tourist Transport. Then we will discuss about the airlines, and then we will discuss about the airports. And the last block is block 8. It has 3 units. Okay, that is unit 30, 31, and 32. So unit 30 is the convention industry. Next will be the planning conventions. And next will be the management and implementation of conventions. Okay, so this is the complete structure of TS3. Like I told you, it has 8 blocks and 32 units in total. Then just a second. Yeah. And these 2 slides I have just added because maybe during the induction program also we have discussed about the like evaluation pattern, about assignment, about the term end. But still I thought maybe if all the students have not joined that day, so just quickly in 1 or 2 minutes, I will give you again background about the evaluation. because like for example TS-03, it is a one course. So out of like it's of 100 marks. So again that this 100 marks course we have divided into two parts. Okay, two parts means one will be the assignment, other will be the term and examination. So assignment, I will just read this for your this information. Like the evaluation consists of two parts. One is a continuous evaluation through assignments. Like one assignment which we are going to give you about TS-03, that we say continuous evaluation in the form of assignments. And other will be the term and examination. Like term and examination, when you fill the form and when you appear for the examination of the TS-03, that will be the term and examination. So assignment carries 30% of weightage. When you will write your assignments, please write it very carefully. Like TS-03 assignment question paper, it must be already uploaded on the website. When you download the question paper, when you write your assignments, you will consult the books and all. Please write assignments very carefully. Don't just copy it from directly from the book. Write in your own words, give some examples from your country, because assignments carries 30% of weightage, and 30% is not a less weightage. Okay, and then rest 70% weightage is given to the term and examination. Like term and examination, which will appear at the end of your this thing session. So that will be a term and examination, and that carries 70% of weightage. But this 30% of weightage, which you are going to prepare yourself by sitting at your home, so prepare assignment very carefully. Underline the important points, give write in the points, give introduction, then main part, then conclusion, give examples, write neatly so that this teacher can read it properly. So it, because it carries 30% of weightage, right? Then one more slide for you, this thing, some important points to remember about the assignment, because this assignment are tutor marked assignments. These will not be evaluated by computer. Tutor or you can say counselor, they will evaluate your assignments. Okay, then you have to submit your response sheet to the coordinator of the study center. Whatever study center is assigned to you, so you have to submit your assignment there only. Write your response in your own handwriting. You cannot just type it. You have to do it handwritten. Okay, do not print or type the answers. And then the last, if you do not if you don't get passing percentage, I also want to tell you, passing percentage is 40. If you are getting less than 40 in assignment or in term and examination, that means you have not cleared the course. It will be not completed, fail. So you have to at least get the 40% and then above, because less than 40% it will not be completed. So if you do not get the pass grade, that is 40% in assignment, you have to submit it again. However, once you get the pass grade in assignment, you cannot resubmit for the improvement. So for example, if you are getting say if you have not written it properly, it's not proper readable, and also if you are getting just 45 marks out of 100, but there is no chance to go for the improvement. So in the first attempt, write it properly, because there is no scope of improvement in grades in case of assignments. Okay, so next is the term and examination. One was a assignment, other was a term and examination. So in the term and examination, this term and examination is a major component of the evaluation system, because it carries 70% of weightage. Then university conducts the term and examination twice a year, that is June and December. But in your case, whatever session is informed to you, because like in bachelor's, we conduct examination yearly, in diploma also. So this is just for general information. University conducts term and examination twice a year, that is in the month of June and December. And then the next important is you must fill and send your term and examination form within the prescribed dates, along with the requisite fee. When you will fill the examination form, that dates will be informed to you. So please fill your examination form on time by paying the requisite fee. Okay, so this was just a brief introduction about the assignments, about the examination and all. So now we will come to the this thing, our TS-03 course. Okay, as I told you in today's class, we are going to cover the block 1, and block 1 has 4 units, unit 1, 2, 3 and 4. So let's start with the class. So in this class, we can learn about all these concepts. But before going for this thing, let me just see you all. Can you understand me properly?
Yes, ma'am. We can understand.
You can understand?
Yes, we can understand. Yes, of course.
Yes, ma'am.
Rest of the students, I just want to see your thumbs up. Is it okay? Whatever 2-3 slides I've explained, have you understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. I can see this Bashir also. Bashir, you can sit somewhere and listen properly. Sit somewhere, no? Yeah. And listen carefully. And this Sambo also joined. Sambo, can you hear me? Some tv.com is written there. Anyhow, I just wanted to confirm, like everything is okay. So let's continue. Okay, so in today's class we are going to discuss all these concepts. First is the management concepts, then understanding management, then we will discuss about the managers, their roles, tasks and responsibilities. Then we will discuss about the entrepreneurial qualities. Then we will discuss about the entrepreneurial process, then assessing the market, then resource mobilization, then service, market and industry. Then we will discuss about the various forms of this business partnership, like sole proprietorship is there, partnership is there, the company, and then the last will be the tourism services management issues. Okay, so all these topics we are going to discuss in today's class. So let us start with the unit 1, and the title is Management Concepts and Functions. Okay, so what do you understand by the management concepts? So we'll discuss few definitions. First is, as per Henry Fayol, it's believed that management could be taught once its underlying principles were understood and a general theory of management was formulated. Okay, so as per Henry Fayol, management could be taught once its underlying principles were understood. So you have to understand its underlying principles. That is one. And second is, the general theory of management was formulated. So Henry Fayol divided business operations into following 6 activities. So these 6 activities are like technical, commercial, financial, security, accounting, and management. So he further defined management in terms of planning, organizing, coordinating, and controlling. So these terms which is given, these are very important in management. The first is planning. You need to plan first. Then second one is the organizing. Then third one is a coordinating with each other. And last is a controlling. So these 4 terms are very important in management. Okay. So next is another author, as per Mary Parker Follett. He described the management as the art of getting things done through others. So this is very brief definition. What is the management? Management is the art of getting things done through others. For example, if I am a manager, so I have a staff, say 20 people working under me. So ultimately my task is I have to get the things done through others. I have to give them instructions. I need to motivate them also. I need to work with them as a team, so that the ultimate goal or objectives of the organization which we have stated, so we have to achieve those objectives. So ultimately, as a manager, I have to get the things done through others, those who are working under me, those who are my subordinates. So this is very simple definition, the art of getting things done through others, right? So management is the process of planning, organizing, leading, and controlling the efforts of organization members and of using all other organizational resources to achieve stated organizational goal. So again, this is very good definition. Basically, management, as in previous slide also I told you, management is a process of basically planning, organizing, leading, and then controlling the efforts of organizational members. Whatever human resources we have to first plan, organize, lead, and control the efforts of organizational members, and then using all other resources of the organization, whatever resources are available. So we have to use all these resources also, so that we can achieve the stated organizational goals, whatever goals and objectives which are there in the organization. So ultimately we have to achieve that goals, right? So one important point to remember, that is management is a process because the interrelated activities of planning, leading, organizing, and controlling are the part of the manager's engagement. So all these activities are the part of the manager's engagement. So he has to do, he has to plan, he has to lead also, he has to organize, he has to control also, right? So let's go to the next slide. The next is the understanding management. So as per George R. Terry and Stephen G. Franklin, they opine that management is purposeful. How it is purposeful? It deals with the achievement of objective or goal, because ultimately it is dealing with the achievement of the organizational goals or objectives. So management is purposeful, right? The next is management makes the things happen. How it makes the things happen? Because managers, they focus their attention and efforts on bringing about successful action, because all their attention and efforts they put together so that they can bring about the successful action. Fine. So next is the management is an activity. So how it is an activity? Because it can be studied, knowledge can be obtained, and skills can be acquired. So management is an activity. And then to remember the important thing, that is management is getting the task accomplished by, with, and through the efforts of group members. Okay, so ultimately it is basically the efforts of the group members. So one has to work as a team, as a group members, as a group, so that all the members can work together to achieve the organizational goals. So let's come to the next slide. Next is the levels of managers. So let's discuss the levels of manager, because there are, I think, 3 types. First level manager, then we have middle level managers, then we have the top level managers. So understanding levels of managers in an organization is very important. So level of managers refers to a line of demarcation between the various managerial positions in an organization. So there is a line of demarcation between the first level managers to the middle level, from middle level to the top level. Fine. So let us discuss first level managers. So these managers are in direct contact with the employees. So first level managers are in direct contact with the employees. So normally they are called as supervisors or foreman. Then we have the middle level managers. So who are the middle level managers? So managers who directs the first level managers. So basically middle level managers, they give direction to the first level managers. So they are the middle level managers, and they have numerous responsibility and perform linking activities. So they have lots of responsibility, and secondly, they perform the linking activity. How linking activity? Because they are in the middle. So they have to give this directions to the first level managers, and on the other side, they have the top level managers also. So they have to report to the top level managers also, because they are in between. So they are performing the linking activities. And the third one is the top level managers. So small group of policy makers who leads the organization. So in the top level, who are the people? They are the small group of policy makers. Ultimately, they decide what they have to do about the organization. They will take the policy decisions. So they are the small group of policy makers who will lead the organization. So they are responsible for overall strategic management of the organization. So overall strategic management of the organizations, top level managers are responsible. So in level of managers, there are 3 levels. That is, first is the first level managers, then there is the middle level managers, and then the top level managers. Okay. So there again, we have given some examples like upper management is there, middle management is there, then the lower level management. Then we have also given the demarcation of responsibility of managers, like in the top level, they have executive coaching, then change management. They have to go for the leadership, delegation, and empowerment. Okay, then we have the middle one. In middle one, they have to go for the problem solving, team building, talent development, and performance management. So this is the job of the middle level managers. Then we have the lower level managers. They are responsible for the emotional intelligence, coaching for the performance, because they are directly in contact with the staff and who are working for the organization. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Okay, now in this one, we will discuss about the management skills. In management skills, again, there are 3 types of skills. Okay, so first is the technical skill, then is the human skill, and then third one is the conceptual skill. So there are three type of management skills, because you need this different type of skills to deal with the people. So we have divided the skills into three categories. So let us discuss the first one, that is the technical skill. So let me see my students. Kabiru, are you listening me properly?
Yes, ma'am. I can hear you clearly.
Fine. What about Ahmed? Hamza Ahmed?
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you clearly.
Clearly. Very nice. And what about this one? Otim? Where are you, Mr. Otim? I think you are not in the class. What about this Bashir? Yes, I can see you. Nice. And
Yes,
more
mom, we
students
do
there.
listen, but yeah, we do listen, but you're little bit past, mom. Can you take it easy because we are new?
I just want to see whether students are listening actively. All the students are there in the class. So that's why I thought, let me see. Okay, so let me continue. Fine. So we are discussing the management skills. Okay, so as I told you, there are three types of skills. So first is the technical skill. So let's discuss about the technical skill. So technical skills are the specialized knowledge or expertise required to perform specific tasks and use specific tools and programs in real world situation. Because if you have technical skill, then only you can solve some particular technical problem. So these technical skills are the basically specialized knowledge or expertise required to perform specific tasks and use specific tools and programs in the real world situation. Okay, then diverse technical skills are required in just about every field and industry, from IT to business administration to healthcare and education. So we need a diverse technical skills in almost every field. Then technical skills make more efficient employees who are confident in their abilities and valuable for employers. Because if you have lots of technical the skills, and that employee, they are really who are confident in their work, because they know about the technical things, how to solve the situation, how to work for a particular thing. So they are basically valuable also for the employers. Then as you gain technical skill, you will also grow more self-assured when applying for the position in certain industries. For example, if you are applying somewhere, so if you have good technical skills, and then you are more confident. Okay. Then a second one is the human skill. First was the technical skill, then is the human skill. So human skills is the manager's ability to work effectively as a group member and to build cooperative efforts within the team he or she leads. For example, the manager who has good human skills, so they can work as a group member, they can work as a team. So human skill is the manager's ability to work effectively as a group member and to build cooperative efforts within the team, so that they have the cooperative efforts. They, each and every member of the team, they cooperate with each other so that they can achieve the ultimate goal. Okay, so on achieving highly developed human skills, one can understand one's own attitudes, assumptions, and beliefs. So if somebody is having this, if somebody has developed good human skills, so one can understand one's own attitudes, assumptions, and beliefs. Then people will express ideas and open up their problems without fear to a person who has more human skills. For example, a manager is there who is really very helpful, very approachable, and the person who is having this thing more human skills, so subordinates, your team members, they can come and open up their problems, they can share their problems with the manager without any fear, if when somebody has a more human skills. But on the other hand, if the manager is very strict, So even the subordinates and the team member who are working under you, they're afraid to talk to you. They're afraid to share their problems. So one should have the more human skills. Then third one is the people with good human skills can deal the problems of the subordinates easily and in short span of time. If you have good human skills, so you can deal the problems easily. You can solve them also in the short span of time. And then human skills can be learned through interest and experience by observing the one who possesses it. If you observe it properly, the person who is having good human skill, then you can also learn it. Okay, so this is about the human skills. The third one is the conceptual skill. So this conceptual skill provides ability to see organization as a whole. So for example, top level manager, they should have more conceptual skills, so they will see the organization as a whole. Fine. Then it helps in understanding how changes in one part of the organization affects the functioning of the other part of the organization. So this conceptual skill, it will help how changes in one part of the organization, it affects the other part of the organization, because they are interrelated, they are interdependent also in organization. For example, so many people are working different departments, so they all are the interrelated, interlinked, so they are dependent also on each other. Fine. So it gives wider spectrum regarding how things functions at all levels. All levels means, I told you, top level, middle level, and lower level. So when you have the conceptual skill, so you will have the wider spectrum regarding how things functions at all three levels. Then this skill is very much essential to design overall welfare of the organization. If you have to think about the overall welfare of the organization, so this conceptual skill is very much essential. It's required. Then top level managers must encourage the middle level managers to learn such skills for efficient functioning of the organization, right? Then a lot of willingness and interest is required for the learners to learn this skill. To learn this conceptual skill, you need a lot of willingness and interest. Then only you can learn the conceptual skill, where you can see the organization as a whole. You have to see about think about the different levels of this manager, different levels of people who are working at the top level, middle level, lower level. So with this lot of willingness and interest, one can learn the conceptual skill, right? So these were the three types of skills. So now again, we have written this level wise skills in management. Like the top level managers, they need more of the conceptual skill. Then the middle level manager, yes, yeah, just a second.
So I have an observation about these three categories you have mentioned: technical and human and conceptual skills. So my observation about technical skill is that is it a kind of a skill that manager have in organization that's related to maintenance of engine, machine, and how to handle the case or problem when it arises, or is it a skill that deal with the IT skill? Next one. Okay.
Yes, you have one more thing to ask, Bashir.
Someone interrupted me. What did you say?
Yeah, one thing you asked about the technical skill. Now, what about the next one? I think you were saying something else also.
Yes, the next one. What I observe about human skills is the handling the problem or the process of dealing with your staff, their behavior in the organization, and other things related to that. That's what I observe. So while the conceptual skill, so I'm about to observe about it, but I haven't finished. So these two skills, I think I can have a word on. Well, the next one, I think later I will deal with the problem. I think. So if I understood if I understood the topic right, both technical and human skills are what I have stated to you right now, or it is contrary to that, or it is not like that.
Just a second, let me go back to it. Bashir, like you are discussing about the technical and human. See, let us come back to the technical. Like technical skill, the people who need those who are working, for example, they're dealing some machinery. They should have the technical skill. Then only they can see what exactly is happening, how it is to be dealt. So this skill is required to perform some specific task. Fine. So that's why we have discussed the technical skills are requires a specialized knowledge, and you need to perform this skill to perform some specific task. Then we need that this diverse technical skills are required, not in just one field, in almost every field, right? The technical skill make more efficient employees who are confident in their abilities and all. So as you gain the technical skill, you will also grow more self-assured. If you know some technical skill, so you are more assured, more confident when you are applying in some other organization. Then the third one, you are talking about the after technical, I think you want to know about the conceptual skill also. So this conceptual skill, just a second. Bashir, can you switch on your video? Bashir, are you there?
Say what more?
My how I have planned. No, I thought let us at least complete one unit, or maybe if we are middle of this thing slides, like there are 4 units. So I thought at least first we will discuss one unit, then at the end we can take few questions, or maybe we can just complete 2 units, and meanwhile you can just note down your questions so that we can go to the discussion. So this is how I have planned. But if you want to this thing, no, because I think we are going to complete one unit. There are 4 units, no? So within the time we have to complete the units as well. But let us take this question, and after that for the rest of the students, no. So let us complete the discussion. You can note down the question so that at the end we can have the discussion, right? Bashir, are you listening me?
Yes, I do.
So you want to continue with this question? This about the skills, Bashir? Yeah, tell me. Unmute yourself. Yeah, now speak.
I'm okay. You may continue. We may continue.
Fine. So let us continue. Let us at least finish one unit, then we can have the discussion. As I was discussing, like in the different this levels of managers, like top level managers, they need more of the conceptual skill. Then the middle level managers, they need more human skills, and the first level managers, they need more the technical skills. They are directly dealing with the people who are working in the field, so they need more of the technical skills. Fine. So next one is the this thing, managerial role, task and responsibilities. Okay, what are the manager roles, their task and responsibilities? So manager roles, basically we have divided into 3 categories. First is the interpersonal role, then the informational role, then the decision making roles. So as an interpersonal role, as a manager, he is the figurehead of the organization. So manager is also a figurehead of the organization. Then manager is a leader, so he has to lead the subordinates. Then he is a liaison officer also. So he is between, he has to provide, give the information, he has to coordinate with the various departments within the organization, and he has to deal with the various other things outside the organization. For example, the media, what competitor is doing and all. So he is a liaison officer also. So these 3 things comes under the interpersonal role of the manager. So manager is a figurehead of the organization. He is a leader also, because he have to lead the people. Then he is a liaison officer. So second one is the informational roles. So he has to monitor the information. Then he has to he's a disseminator also, because whatever information is getting from the outside sources, so he has to provide to the subordinates. He has to disseminate that information within the organization. Then he is a spokesperson also on behalf of the organization. So these are the informational role of the manager. Then third one is the decision making roles. So as an entrepreneur, so he has to take the decision. Decision making is also very important, because for some awkward situation is there, some opportunity is there, so immediately he has to take that decision, okay, whether we should go for that new product or service which is there in the market, because there are many situations when you have to decide immediately. So as an entrepreneur, one has to take the decision also. Then right decision are also very important. If you take a wrong decision, then ultimate result will also be that also. So so this decision making role, first is the entrepreneur, then disturbance handler. For example, some situation is there where something happened, so you have to handle that situation also very carefully. Some grievances are there, something happened, so immediately you have to control that situation. So as a manager, you are a disturbance handler also. Then you are a resource allocator also. You have to allocate the resources from outside, from within the organization. Maybe you have to borrow from somewhere, so you are a resource allocator. Then manager is a negotiator also. He has to negotiate also on behalf of the organizations. Okay, so these are the decision making roles. So there are three categories of the managerial roles. First is the interpersonal role, then other one is the informational roles, and third is the decision making roles. So to remember the important thing, that is effective managers must have ability to play appropriate role in each situation. So one has to know which role to play in which situation. So one has the ability to play appropriate role in each situation. So whatever type of situation is there, so accordingly you have to play the role, right? Then flexibility to change the roles readily. One should have the flexibility also. If some this situation is there where you have to handle the situation, so at that time you have to handle it very this carefully. So sometimes as a figurehead you may have the different type of role, so one should have the flexibility to change the role as per the situation. So next is the task of manager. So we'll discuss about the task of managers. So it provides meaningful direction to the organization. So as this is again important task as a manager, one has to provide the meaningful direction to the organization. Then maintains efficiency for profit generation, because ultimately we're working for the profit generation. So one should maintain the efficiency for profit generation for the organization. And meets the challenges of increasing challenges, because there are so many challenges every day. We see competitors are there, new products are coming, so one should meet the challenge of increasing challenges. Then motivate the subordinates. As a manager, you need to motivate your subordinates also, so that they all work efficiently, they all get motivated to work for the organization. So one has to motivate them. Then attempts to retain the talent in the company, because if you have talented employees, those who are really sincere, they work hard for the organization, so one has to ensure that the talent is retained within the company, so that they should not leave your organization and go to the competitor. So we have to retain the talented people in the organization. That inculcates a sense of loyalty among the employees. So this is very important. So as a manager, you need to inculcate the sense of loyalty, so that your employees are loyalty toward their work, they're sincere towards their work. Then keeps in mind the interest and welfare of the workers. So as a manager, you should not just think about the ultimate goal of the organization, profit of the organization, but you have to think about the interest and welfare of the workers also, because the workers who are working for your organization, one has to think about them also. Then developing new ideas and converting it into new business plan. So one, as a manager, one has to develop new ideas and convert them into the business plan. Then helping employees in upgrading the skills. So one has to think about upgrading the skills of the employees also. So you should, one as a manager, he should think about the short-term training programs to upgrade the skills. Then keeps himself updated on the required information. So as a manager, one should have to keep himself or herself updated also about the latest information, what's happening in the industry. So one should be updated also. Okay, so next, this we have discussed about the task. Next is the responsibilities. So what are the responsibilities of the manager? Just a second, let me do the full screen. Yeah, now I think you can see it properly. So next is the responsibilities of the manager. So they're saying management is nothing more than motivating other people. Management is nothing more than the motivating other people. Motivate whatever subordinates, whatever employees who are working under you, they're working with you. So ultimately one has to motivate them so that they can work together. Okay, so in responsibilities, first is responsibility towards the customers. So because there are different types of responsibility towards the customer, towards the employees, towards the suppliers of the raw material, then others are also there. So first is the responsibility towards the customer. So we have to understand their needs, their concern, the quality of product which we are producing, because quality of product, if it is good, so your customer will continue with you. So we have to first understand the needs and want of the customers, what are their concern, then quality of product which we are giving in the market to our customers. So we have to think about all this. Then responsibility towards the employees. So as a manager, what is your responsibility towards your employees who are working for you? So we have to ensure their salaries on time, then their provident funds are given, their welfare schemes are there for the employees. So one has to think about all these. Okay, then next is the responsibility towards the suppliers. Suppliers are providing you the raw material. So as a manager, what is your responsibility towards a supplier? So responsibility is the timely payments for the goods received from them. So whatever suppliers, they have given you the goods, whatever raw material they have given you, one should make them their timely payment so that they keep giving you goods and their raw material in future also. So we have to make the payment on the time towards the suppliers. The next is the responsibility towards the distributors and suppliers. So quality of goods supplied, whether the quality is really good or not, then timely supply, that supply they have given on time as per the orders. Whatever orders are given, they should give the timely supply. Okay, then the responsibility towards the government. So what is the responsibility of the manager towards the government? That legal permissions, whatever you are running in your business, whether you have the proper permission or not, then are you paying the taxes on time? That taxes has to pay to the government. Then whatever duties are there, so what that you are paying on time or not. Okay, then the responsibility towards the society. Ultimately, there is a responsibility towards the society also. If you are running your company, your organization, so what are your responsibility towards the society? So environment is not damaged due to pollution. The sentiments of the people are not affected. So whatever local environment is there, it should not be damaged due to pollution. That one responsibility should be there towards the society. Then sentiments of the people should not be affected by your action or by your activities, right? So these were the responsibilities of manager. So we have completed unit 1. Just a second, let me see. Now we will go to the second unit. So yeah, it's already 1 hour is over. So I have to go a little faster because it's going to 4 o'clock now. So class is from 3 to 5. So only 1 hour is left. So let me continue, right? So maybe at the end we will have the discussions. So I'm going to the second unit now. It's already 4 o'clock. So unit 2, that is the entrepreneurship, concepts and functions. So let me do the full screen. Okay. So first is who is the entrepreneur? Someone who perceives an opportunity and create an organization to pursue it. That person is entrepreneur. Okay, someone who perceives an opportunity, whatever opportunity or new idea, when somebody is perceiving that and creates an organization to pursue it. Okay, then next is the entrepreneurial process. So it involves all functions, activities, and actions linked with perceiving an opportunity and creating an organization to pursue them. So that is the process. So it involves all the functions, activities, and actions linked with the perceiving an opportunity and then creating an organization to pursue it. That is a process. And then third one is the entrepreneurial spirit. The spirit should be there. Spirit like willing to take up the challenges. If you are an entrepreneur, so you should have that spirit. Yes, I'm willing to change that, take up the challenges. Whatever challenges will be there, I'm ready to face it. Then desire to create new ventures. One should have the desire to create a new venture. Then hoping to be the master of your own future. So ultimately, you are a master of your own future because it's your organization. You are going to open a new venture. So you are a master of your own future. Okay. And then next is the this entrepreneurial traits. What are traits, qualities are there? So first is the risk taking. So one should have the ability to take the risk. So willingness to take the risk. Then should not afraid of for the failures, because there can be failures. Maybe you are successful, maybe you are failure. So one should not be afraid for the failures. And then ready to accept the changes. So there are, every day there are new changes are there. So you are ready to accept the changes. Just a second. I'm just coming in a minute. Just a second. Okay, let us continue. Then next is the self-starting creativity and innovativeness. So as an entrepreneur, you should be imaginative. You have to imagine, yes, this is how I'm planning to work, this is how it will happen and all. So second is a sense for identifying or improving products and services, because once you have launched a product in the market, so it's doing very well, maybe after a few years, after some time, maybe customer, they want something new, maybe packing style is new, or maybe you have added something new in the existing product and all. So one should have the sense of identifying or improving the product or service, okay, so that it will survive in the market. The next one is the explore new strategies and add new attributes. So new strategies should be there and new attributes should be added. Fine. The next is the initiative. So must be self-starter rather than a copycat. So one should have the self-starter. You should take the initiative. Okay, what's new I'm going to do? What new product or service one has to launch? So one should take the initiative also, right? Then next is the information seeking. So collect information for future growth and success. One has to collect the information for the further growth and success through personal research. One has to do personal research. Then observation, you observe so many things every day, how competitor is doing, what they are doing, what is new in the market. Then consult the experts. You can consult the expert also. They can also give you new ideas, right? Then next is the problem solving. So must have the capacity to look in depth and solve the problem arising. So that capacity you should have. You should have that vision. Okay, this problem is there. So you should look in depth and solve the problem. Right. The next is the quality assurance and monitoring. So must maintain the quality of the product and service always. Whatever product or service you are providing to your customer, so one should maintain the quality. If your product have the good quality, then you will get more and more customers will come to you. So one has to maintain the quality of product and service always. It's not only when newly you have launched your product, quality was very good and so many customers are there, but after some time that quality is not that good, or it's declining after some time. So then the customer will go to the other competitor. So one has to maintain the quality of product and service always. Then must have faith in systematic planning. The systematic planning is required, so one should have faith in that. Then must have influencing abilities. So one should have influencing ability also, just so that you can influence others. Okay, so next is the entrepreneurial process. So entrepreneurship requires, what you require? You need psychological traits, then you need competences, then family or community, then environmental factors, then market incentives are there, then sufficient capital should be there. If you're going to start a new venture, one should have the sufficient capital also. Maybe you will borrow from your friends or family, maybe you take a loan or whatever, so you need sufficient capital also. Then social factors are also there, then government rules and regulations are also there, as we have discussed in the previous slide. So if you're going to open something new organization, new company, so you have to see what government rules are there. You have to follow that rules and regulations. Then you have to pay the taxes and duties from time to time. So you have to see all this. So entrepreneurship, they require all these factors. So to remember, entrepreneur should analyze the strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats in order to achieve success in his undertaking. So this SWOT analysis, the strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. So entrepreneur should analyze this SWOT analysis. Strength, what are strengths are there, weaknesses are there, opportunities are there, threats. And SWOT analysis you must be aware, or maybe we can have discussion on that also. So one should have this thing, analyze the SWOT, this is strength, weaknesses, opportunity, threats, in order to achieve success in his or her undertakings. The next is assessing the markets. So assessing market potential and growth prospects. So, well, for example, you are planning to open up something new venture. So first you have to assess the market. You have to do market research. What is already there? What is existing products are there? Who are the competitors? So we need to go for the market research. So assessing market potential and growth prospects, because whether the product and service will have sufficient demand, whatever product or service we are planning to start, we are planning to launch, whether it will have sufficient demand in the market. That is the one. Then who would buy the product or service? Who will be my customer? Who are going to buy my product and service? That is second. Then why would they buy? Why they will buy my product? Because there are already so many competitors are there in the market. So what is so special in my product? So then how many would buy? So how many customers will buy? Then how demand can be created? So for example, you are going to launch a new product or service. So how that demand can be created in the market? Then how to tackle the competition, because competition is already there. Then what trade practices and just a second. What trade practices and linkages can be followed? So what are practices and linkages that should be followed so that you will be successful in the market? So these are the few factors. It's very much required to go for the market research, to think about all these things, like whatever already competitors are there, who will buy my product, how many people will buy, then whether product and service will have sufficient demand or not. So these are the few questions which has to be answered before going for a new venture, right? Sorry, I have irritation in my throat, so it might be disturbing you. So next is the resource.
But ma'am, the PPTs you are not switching the PPTs.
Just a second. Tell me.
Yes, you are not switching the PPTs. I am taking some notes from the PPT you are just trying to explain. But I can't see that the PPTs are switching from PPT 1 to L1. Now you are.
You can't see PPT?
You know, you were discussing. Yes, I can see it now. Just
you can
listen
see
to
it now.
Just stay on PPT. Yes, I can see. I can see. You are not switching. That's the problem.
Can you hear me? I'm audible. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, I can hear you. You are audible.
And you can see
Let's
my
continue.
PPT as well.
Okay. Yes, I can see.
Okay. Okay, so let me see. Yeah. Next is the resource mobilizations. So ultimately, you need the resources like financial resources, manpower, and etc. So how you will mobilize the resources? So first is the finance. So entrepreneur must have idea about capital structure, then credit policy is there, then contingencies are there, then bank loans, they are available. For example, you're going to open a new venture, so whatever bank loans are available in the market, then personal loans are there, then time limit for repayment, then term loans from financial institutions, then there's credit policy, own capital, whatever own capital you have, then you may borrow from the friends or family members, then interest on loans, whatever interest is there on the loans, then repayment capacity. So all these financial things are very important. So as an entrepreneur must have the idea about all these things, like whatever capital structure is required, bank loan schemes are there, then financial institutions are there to give you term loans and all. So one should know about all this. Then next is the manpower requirement. First is the finance, then you need the human resource, the manpower requirement. Then skills of the manpower, which type of people you need, then their qualifications, then the recruitment policies, then training required for them, then wages, wage structure, whatever salaries you're going to give them, then what are the labor laws are there. So you have to think about all this as they come under the manpower requirement. Fine. The next is technology. then machines, then energy to be used, then services to be provided. So they all come under the technology. So you have to think about all this, like finance, manpower requirement, technology requirement. Then other considerations are also there, like location. For example, you're planning to open up your organization, what type of location you need. Okay, so then under location, like family conditions, then competition you have to see, the manpower you need, local laws and taxes, then local community attitude in that area, then environmental factors one has to see, what are customs are there, then you have to think about the geographical locations, then market condition over there, then whatever resources are there, then rules and regulation, then political stability also is very much required. Then there's cultural values, then peace and accessibility. So these are come under location. So these are also very other important considerations, right? Then organizational structure. So after having all these considerations, before opening up a new venture, fine. Then we will go for the next one, that is the organizational structure. So next is the organizational structure. Which type of organization you're planning? Are you planning to go for the sole proprietorship or maybe partnership? That also we think, because you are going to start a new venture. So which type of organization, whether you and your friend or maybe two families, they are going to go for the partnership, or maybe you want to just go for the sole proprietorship, only one person as your team lead, whatever way you want. So you don't want the interference of any other, so you want to go for the sole proprietorship. So that also one has to think. Then next is the responsibility towards the societies and local customs. So there are, as I think in the previous slide also we've discussed, we have responsibility towards societies also, and then towards the local customs also. So these are the all other important considerations which one has to think. Then next is the unit 4. Just a second. So unit 4, that is the corporate forms of tourism. Let me see how much time is left. So we still have time. Yes, we can continue. Okay, let's go for this thing. Unit 4. So we have covered the 3 units. So next is the unit 4, that is the corporate forms in tourism. So in corporate forms of tourism, we will discuss about the different types. So first is the enterprises in tourism. If we talk about the enterprises in tourism, so functions of all enterprises in tourism are aimed at transforming available resources into tourism products, services, attractions, and facilities. So ultimately, the function of all enterprises in tourism, what is the aim? The aim or ultimate objective is transforming available resources into ultimately tourism products, or maybe services, or maybe attraction or facilities. So that is the ultimately aim, right? Then tourism services. The tourism services are intangible, and tourism products by and large are services which are consumed in the process of their production. So basically these tourism services are intangible in nature, and tourism products by and large are services which are consumed in the process of their production, right? Then next is the market. What is the market? It denotes a system in which goods are produced, sold, and distributed by voluntary exchange between the people. So what is a market? Market is a place where goods are produced, they are sold and distributed by voluntary exchange between the people. You pay and you get a service. So this is this thing, basically voluntary exchange between the people. Okay, so next is the tourism industry. So in tourism, what is tourism industry? Different firms, individuals, or groups that provide tourism products and services are collectively called as the tourism industry. So it's not a one thing. It's basically different firms, different individuals, various groups of people. They provide tourism products and services, and they are collectively called as the tourism industry. So let's go to the next slide. Yeah. So now we'll discuss about the different forms in tourism, different corporate forms in tourism. Like in that we will discuss about the sole proprietorship. Then we will discuss what advantages and then we will go for the partnership. Then we will discuss about its advantages and disadvantages, and then we will go for the company. Okay. So let us discuss one by one. This is, let me go back. Yeah. So first is the sole proprietorship. So a proprietor is a person who owns and control business. So a proprietor is basically a person who owns and control the business. So that is a single man army. Okay, so sole proprietorship, here business is owned and controlled by one person. So in sole means it's from the word you can see it's basically the business which is owned and controlled by one person. So that's why sole proprietorship. Then owner take risks, mobilizes resources, receive profit and bear losses. So in this case, in case of sole proprietorship, the owner, that person will take the risks. Then he or she will mobilize resources also, whatever resources, because in the case of partnership, at least two people can pool together. But in sole proprietorship, the single person will mobilize resources. Then ultimately, well, the person will receive the profit. If there is a profit, that person will only get the profit. But if there is a loss, that person will bear the losses as well. Then this is the most common form of business. This sole proprietorship is the most common form of the business. Okay, then next is a single ownership. So no partnership or cooperative structure, because there is a single person, so it's a single ownership. No partnership or cooperative structure is there. Then personal organization are common identity. A person is a business and business is a person, because only single person is there. So person is a business and business is a person. Then the self-finance, the finance is arranged by the individual from his own resources or borrowing from the maybe friends or family members, because single person is there, so he or she has to arrange the finance, maybe from his own resources or maybe he will borrow from the friends or relatives. Then person cannot issue bonds or raise money in the market. Okay, so in this sole proprietorship, the person cannot issue bonds or raise money in the market. Then next is the profit and losses. The profit earned in the business or losses, if any, belongs to the business person and are not to be shared with anyone else, because nobody else is there. It's a single person. So whatever profit or loss, but that person has to bear. Then next is the registration. There is no registration for the sole proprietorship. So there is no registration for the sole proprietorship. Now we will discuss the advantages and disadvantages of sole proprietorship. First is the advantages. So owners enjoy independence and flexibility in decision making, because there is no other person to interfere. So that person enjoys the independence and flexibility in decision making. So whatever decision he can take, he has to take, because he need not to ask anyone else. And the disadvantages lead to overcautious decision making. At times it leads to overcautious decision making. Okay. And then advantages, all profits can be retained as incentive towards the effort and efficiency. So whatever profit you are getting, so all profit can be retained as incentive towards the efforts you have done and your efficiency. And the disadvantages, personal assets are used to pay in certain cases, because if there is a loss, so sometimes you need to go for the personal assets are used to pay in certain cases. And then advantages, can respondent to market conditions and customer needs quickly, because only one person is there, so immediately he will take this call. So this can respondent to the market condition, customer needs quickly. It's not that so many people has to take the decision, so immediately quickly you respond to the customer needs. But the disadvantage is, as business grows beyond certain limit, managerial skills will be of less use in managing the business, because if it is a beginning, the small business, then one person can handle. But after some years, maybe if the business grows, then you need more people, because you cannot take the decision. You cannot be be everywhere, because it's a business is flourishing, so you need more people. Okay. Then the advantage is business confidentiality can be maintained, so you can maintain that confidentiality within the business. The disadvantage is absence of owner may affect the business. For example, if owner is not there for some time, maybe he's not well, or he's maybe has gone out. So absence of owner may affect the business. That's the disadvantage. Then advantage is easy to set up and dissolve. So advantages, it is easy to set up and dissolve. Fine. So these are the advantages and disadvantages of sole proprietorship. So let's go to the next one. Next one is the partnership. So partnership is an association of two or more persons who operate a business. There are two or more persons in partnership. There can be two or more persons who operate a business. For example, a travel agency or a hotel as co-owners under some agreement. Okay, they will have some agreements. So two or more people working together, so it's known as partnership. Okay, so any two or more persons can get together to form a partnership. So any two persons or maybe more than two, they can get together to form a partnership. So they may agree to provide some amount of work and capital, because they have to give the capital as well. They will pool together. So amount of work also they will share. So they may agree to provide some amount of work and capital. Then they may agree to share the profits, loss, and debts. That also they will agree. Whatever profit will be there, they will share. Whatever losses will be there, they both or maybe more than two they will bear the losses as well, right? Then written legal agreement is required to avoid any further problems. So that this proper legal agreement is required so that there should not be any problem in future. Then partners may take no active part in decision making. Sometimes partner may so this partner may take no active part in decision making. Maybe one partner is very active, maybe other one is not active. Sometimes it also happens. Then sleeping partners has limited liability, because as I told you, for example, two partners are there. One is very active and other is very slow and maybe not responding properly. So that we can say sleeping partner. So sleeping partner has limited liability because he is not that active. Okay. So let's go to the advantages and disadvantages. So now we'll discuss about the advantages and disadvantages of partnership. So first is the advantage. Easier to set up. Disadvantages, it is not easier to dissolve the business, because not single person is there, maybe two or more person is there. So it's not easy to dissolve. You need the consent of all the partners. Then greater flexibility is possible. That is advantage. Then next is the efficiency may be affected if interpersonal relations grow wrong. Because if the two or three partners are there, if their relations are very good, fine. But if their interpersonal relations, they grow wrong, so it may affect the efficiency of the organization. Okay. So advantages, as more than one people is involved, more managerial skills are available in conducting the business. Because if more than one person, two or three persons are there as a partner, so that means you are having more managerial skills to run the business. The disadvantage is absence of cooperation among the partners may affect the business. If there is, and that is disadvantage, if they are not cooperating each other, so it may affect the business. And again, advantage, so it can generate more funds as more individuals are engaged in the business. So this is the advantage. So it will generate more funds. But the disadvantage is this more problems arising if there exists no common understanding between various partners. If there is no proper common understanding, so it can create problems as well. So this is a disadvantage, right? So next is the company. First we have discussed the sole proprietorship, then we have discussed the partnership, and third is the company. So company is the dominant form of business throughout the world. So this company is the dominant form of the business throughout the world. The size of the business is normally large. As a business firm, it is in itself is a legal entity. So as a business firm, so in itself it's a legal entity. The company is autonomous and require incorporation. This company is the autonomous bodies and it requires incorporation. So funds through share capital is possible. So in case of companies, so funds can be raised through share capitals. Then company is characterized by perpetual successions, right? Then in India, companies are governed by Companies Act 1956. So next is just a second. Yeah, there are private limited companies, then there are public limited companies. Okay, so first is a private limited company. So business is held and owned by shareholders not less than two in numbers. So in private limited company, business is held and owned by shareholders not less than two in number. Then it is a legal entity and limited liability. It's a legal entity, so there is a limited liability also. Then share can be bought and sold, but not to the general public. So in case of private limited company, share can be bought and sold, but not to the general public. Then company cannot seek a quotation on the stock exchange. So this private limited company cannot seek a quotation on the stock exchange. Okay, so this is about the private limited company. Then we will go for the public limited company. So company owned by this private, and shares are open to the general public. So in case of public limited companies, the shares are open to the general public. Then it has the ability to raise the capital. This ability to raise the capital is more in case of public limited company. Then difficult and expensive to set up. This public limited company is difficult as well as expensive to set up. The large size may lead to more complex problems. Then ownership rests with the stakeholders, while controlling and decisions are made by the paid managers. So these are the features of the public limited company. So we have discussed the private limited company as well as public limited company. Okay, the next third one is a franchisee. So franchisee is characterized by an agreement between two parties. One is franchisor and other one is the franchisee. Okay, so this franchisee is characterized by the agreement between the two parties. One is a franchisor, other is a franchisee. So franchisee agreed to pay franchisor a royalty apart from a flat fee in exchange for the use of the national or international brand name. When you're using their international or national brand name, so one has to pay. So one has to pay a royalty apart from the flat fee. So then franchisor help in site selection, in operations, in management and accounting procedure. So franchisor will help the franchisee in site selection, in operations and management and accounting procedures. And this type involves high cost, but the risk involved is very less. So this franchisee type, it involves high cost, but the risk involved is very less. Then franchising is quite prevalent in the restaurant business and food industry. Yes, in restaurant business, you have seen so many franchisee. So this is very famous in the restaurant business and in food industry, right? So after discussing this sole proprietorship, then what do you say, this company and all. So now we will discuss about the different other forms of organizations. So first is the tourism department. So the government of India, we are talking about the India right now. So what are other forms of organizations are there? So the government of India and various state government has tourism departments. So in India, government of India has the various, the state government also, they have their tourism departments. So generally non-profit making organization involved in tourism policy formulation, planning and promotions. Okay, so this non-profit making organization, they are involved in policy formulation. Whatever policy decisions are taken, then the planning for new destinations or for existing one, and the promotion, right? So this all comes under the tourism departments. The next is that tourism development corporations are there. So commercial profit making organizations like ITDC, Indian Tourism Development Corporation, RTDC, etc. So they come under the tourism development corporations. Then third one is the local bodies. Then local body like a municipality own leisure or sport complexes which are also used by the tourists. So local bodies, we have given the example like a municipality own leisure or sport complexes are there, which comes under the municipality. They are local bodies are there. So which also this sport complexes, they are also used by the tourists. Fine. So they come under the local bodies. Then there are cooperatives. So cooperative societies are enterprises owned and run by members who form it. So some cooperative societies are there. So they are also enterprises. They're owned and run by the members who form it. So the members who form these cooperative societies, they own and run these cooperative societies. Fine. So, okay. That unit title which we have mentioned, fourth one, no, I think that is a typing error. That was the third unit. No, this is the fourth one. Let me see the time, because that by mistake it was mentioned 4 in that one, whereas that was the third unit and this is the fourth one. We still have half an hour. Let me see all of you. Are you there? Learners, my students, are you listening?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we are in the last unit now. The unit which we have discussed just now, that was the third unit. So now this is the fourth one. There is a typing error in that. So now in the last unit, okay, we still have half an hour. So let us finish it fast, then we can have discussion. Okay, just a second. Yeah, this is the last unit, unit 4, that is the management issues in tourism. Okay, so first is the tourism services. Tourism is a service industry. As you know, tourism is a service industry, as services are simultaneously produced as consumed. So they are produced and consumed at the same time. So tourism is a service industry, as services are simultaneously produced and consumed. If consumer expectations are not met, you cannot replace them. For example, a customer, maybe a customer in your hotel or your restaurant, if he or she is not satisfied, whatever he was expecting, it's not getting that one, we cannot replace it. Okay, so if customer expectations are not met, you cannot replace them. Then staff involved in providing services is a part of service. So staff which is involved in providing services is a part of service. For example, this in a restaurant, person who is serving you this the whatever food you have ordered, maybe that in a restaurant, if you have ordered something, the person who is serving you, so he is a part of service. How is serving you, how presentable he is looking, how nicely he is dealing with you, how is talking to you, so that is also a part of service. Okay, then consumers of tourism services are not only buying the products but is actually involved with the products. Our customer, the consumers of tourism service, they are not only buying the products but is actually involved with the products. Okay, then tourism services are highly perishable. You know, these are highly perishable in nature. You cannot preserve them, you cannot conserve them. They are highly perishable in nature, the tourism services. For example, aircraft seat which is not used today, you cannot, if you that seat is empty, so next day you cannot preserve that seat. So next time the new this thing new this customers will be there, but whatever loss you have, like for example the 2 seats were empty, so that loss you have to bear. Okay, so you cannot preserve it. Like the manufacturing products like soap and other things, if it is not sold today, so maybe tomorrow, maybe for months you can keep it, but not in case of services. So they are highly perishable in nature. So tourism services require more care and create stress to managers involved in providing such services, because they need more care. So you have to be very careful. You have to be very, when you are attending a customer, you have to be very attentive. You have to be very careful. So it creates more stress to managers involved in providing such services. Then task of manager becomes more challenging as the proper forecasting is not possible in tourism business. So yes, it is also true, the proper forecasting is not possible in tourism business. So the task of manager becomes more challenging, because from the past record we see, okay, last year this much of tourists visited so and so destination. Okay, we accordingly we predict, okay, in future also, maybe next year also this much number will come. So maybe that number can be less also at times, maybe it can be more also. So forecasting is not that easy, not possible in tourism business. Fine. Then next is the human resource training and development. So service industry like tourism largely depends upon the caliber of staff for its success. So you need really trained people. So their caliber is very much required. So caliber of staff is very much this required. So tourism industry, service industry like tourism, which is largely dependent upon the caliber of the staff for its success. So in tourism industry, even the grassroots level personnel of the organization has to be trained to handle the client. Otherwise, it will be difficult to achieve the success. Even the grassroots level, like right from the drivers to the person who is handling the customer, maybe at airport, and also right from the grassroots level, we need to train the people very properly so that they can handle the customers. Okay, then success of the tourism enterprise will depend on the knowledge, skills, attitude of the staff, keeping view of the customer expectations and working for their satisfaction. So we should know what are the customer wants and needs, what are their expectations. So one has to work for their satisfaction also, so that customer will be satisfied, right? The next is the destination planning and management. So this proper maintenance and management of the destination is very important for the generating profit in tourism business. So one has to properly maintain and manage the destination. So it's very important for generating profit in tourism business. So though government is mainly responsible for maintaining such destination and other required facilities, because whatever basic facilities are required, that is the responsibility of the government. like roads, this railway network, airports and all. So these basic things government has to provide. But it is very important for those who earn profit and also must contribute for the maintenance of such destination, because major role is of government, but otherwise also the other one, like the hoteliers, the travel agent, tour operators, whatever they are who are there in the destination, who are getting profit, so it's their responsibility also to contribute for the maintenance of the destination, so that more and more tourists will come in the future. Then close interaction must prevail between the local bodies and tourism industry. So there should be close interaction between the local bodies and tourism industries. That is very much required. Okay, so aspiration and needs of the local community has to be kept in mind while designing any policy for further development, because ultimately the destination which belongs to the local people. So there should be proper this thing. What do you say? For example, at the top level, you are deciding some policy. Okay, this is how we in this destination we are planning like this. In future, we will develop like this and that. We will may have different hotels, or we are planning for a new airport and all. So this local people should also be involved in that. They should also have say, because ultimately the local, that place is basically belonging to that local people. So local people should also be involved in planning process, right? Then next is the linkages. So linkages play a vital role in generating profit in tourism business. Then establishing the right kind of linkages with the right kind of people at the right time is vital issue while managing tourism services. So that proper linkages should be there. So they're saying establishing right kind of linkages with the right kind of people at the right time is very much required, is very much vital while managing the tourism services. The next is the product improvements. So product improvements at times result in stagnation. So constant monitoring, establishing control, regular feedback helps in product improvement. For example, you have launched a product, so it's doing very well in the market, but after some time, after months, after a year, maybe your competitor has also come up with a similar type of products. So one should have the constant monitoring also. Whatever product you have launched, one should monitor also. One should have the get regular feedback also, so that it will help in product improvement, whether customers are satisfied or not, whether they are facing some issues. So you, from the feedback, you will come to know, so that you can improve your products. So this is an example they've given, the linkages between tourism and entertainment industry. Okay, this is tourism industry, then entertainment industry is there, then tourism offerings, then tourism market. So this is another example of this thing. What do you say? Linkages. The next is our technology. You know, nowadays without technology nothing is possible. Everywhere you see the role of technology. So technology plays a vital role in providing efficient and cost-effective services to the tourist. I know everyone must agree with this, that technology plays a very important role, vital role in providing efficient as well as cost-effective services to the tourist. So though conventional methods cannot be fully ruled out, because conventional method, when they will people used to do things manually, so we cannot fully rule out the conventional methods in certain cases, like reservations and communications. Adopting new technology will reduce the cost of operation and resulting in more profits to the organization, because with the technology, you know, we can save a lot of time, so it will reduce the cost of operation also, and resulting in more profit for the organization. So we should go for the latest technology. Then understanding market. So understanding market is also very much important. So proper understanding of the market is very essential while developing tourism markets. So we should first go for the market research, market analysis. So whatever is there already existing in the market, whatever competitors are doing, what type of product and services are already available in the market. So one should have the proper understanding of the market. The next is the social responsibility. So tourism development and its impact on the environment, on the local community has to be kept in the mind. For example, you are planning to develop a tourism destination, new destination is going to come up, but that is good, very good, but its impact on the environment, whether it should not have the negative impact on that local environment, and it should not adversely impact the local community, local people of that area. So these points one has to be kept in the mind while going for the new tourism destination or tourism development, right? Then preservation of environment and local community has to be the base for further tourism development at a destination. So these two things are very important. First is the preservation of the environment, because whatever that environment, local environment is there, it should not be disturbed. It should not be degraded. So preservation of environment and the local community, local people of that area, we shouldn't harm them. Okay, so these two things, preservation of the environment and local community, has to be the base for further tourism development at a destination, right? The next is the crisis management. So crisis, whether arises due to the internal or external reasons, man-made or natural, has to be dealt promptly, or else destination will become less attractive. So whatever crisis is there, whether it's a man-made or it's a natural, so it has to be dealt promptly, immediately. You have to resolve that, otherwise destination will become less attractive. People will have the negative image. Okay, something happened there. So whatever crisis, it can be internal, it can be external, it can be, so that you may not lose the business. Then, okay, with this we have finished unit 4 as well. So just to conclude, so in this today's class, we have learned about the first is the management concepts. Then we have discussed about this understanding management. And we have discussed about the manager's roles, their tasks, and the responsibilities. Then we have discussed the entrepreneurial qualities. Then entrepreneurial process we have discussed. Then we have talked about the assessing the market. Then we have discussed about the resource mobilization. In resource mobilization, N is missing, typing error. Then next we have discussed about the service, market, and industry. Then we have discussed about the sole proprietorship, its advantages and disadvantages we have discussed. Then we have discussed the second category, that was a partnership. Then again we have discussed about its advantages and disadvantages. Then the last we have discussed about the company, various its types also. Then last was the tourism services management issues. That was a unit 4. So this is all we have discussed in today's class. Okay. Let me see my students. I think 2 hours is, it's going to be 2 hours now. Continuously I'm talking. Are you there? I can see 2 faces.
Yes, ma'am.
Kabiru, I can see. Then Bashir, I can see. No, I can see one more person. Noora is also there. Who else is there?
Also
Ahmed,
here, ma'am.
are you there? Okay. Konami, right?
Yes, ma'am, you are right.
Oh, very nice. And what about my student, this Ahmed? Yes, Ahmed, he has written something. Oh, we are. Very nice. And then one more is there, this Lavan. Lavan, are you there? I think he's not there. He can see recording. He must be thinking I can listen the recording later on. Lavan, where are you? He's not there. And one more person I can see, Wakili. Are you there? Mohammed Wakili. One more person is missing. Where are you? But anyhow, let me stop presenting now, right? Yes, now we can have the discussion. Yes, Bashir is there. Bashir, yes, tell me. Kabir, you can also say. Continuously, for one person to talk, it's going to be 2 hours now. Because 2 o'clock we have started. No, sorry, 3 o'clock we have started. And it's 4:46 now. Now I want to listen from you all. See, one rule is there. This PPT which we have discussed, this I have already shared with you. So this PPT you can go through later on also if you want to go through, see something, or you can want to have some this thing, want to know about some concepts. But my thing, this request is, you already have the study material with you, right? This TS-03 course, soft copy of this TS-03 course is already available. Soft copy is there. So the study material is already there with you. So go through the units, because in the PPTs we have just kept the important points. Detailed chapter, detailed units, all the concepts and everything, it's there in the study material. The booklets which are there, no soft copies available with you. So it's always better to go through this study material. Okay, so this main points we discuss, but the detailed things, once you go through the study material, when you read yourself, you will understand the things better, right? Yeah. So this soft copy of the study material, it's available
Yes,
in the
ma'am.
eGyan Kosh. So I think you must all have the access to the eGyan Kosh, and maybe they have provided to you also. So it's always better to go through the study material. You read the units. Like today, we have discussed the one block. We have discussed the 4 units. So it's my humble request, you all, after finishing this class, you just go through the units. Like only 5 to 6, maybe 6 pages per unit content is there. So once you go through the material, or once you read it, then you will understand it better. Because in 2 hours discussing 4 units, I can just discuss the main points only. The detailed things you will understand once you read the units. And it's very interesting. Tourism is a very interesting subject. It's not difficult at all. You will develop the interest. Right? I think some network issue is there. Yes, now you tell me.
So
1,
some
2,
of us
3,
are
4,
saying
5,
that
6, 7 students are there.
yes, some of us are saying that
So today
the
we have
material
discussed
on
the
the
block
site
1.
is
So
not the
tomorrow we
same
will
as
have a
yours here.
discussion on block 2. Second block. Okay. So first 2 classes I will take. Then block 3 onwards, there is a different academic counselor. So another person will take the next third onwards. So I'm taking the first class today, and one more class will be there. That will be tomorrow. There we will discuss the block 2. Okay. So only first 2 classes I'm going to take, and the class third onward, so different counselor will be there. Okay, but you have our email IDs and all. Whatever issue you have, you may face in the future also, so you can send us a email. But in whenever you will send the mail, no,
Okay.
specifically you just ask the question about the TS-03, because I'm looking after the TS-03. Like in our department in School of Tourism and Hospitality, so there are different faculty members are there. Like I'm the course coordinator for TS-1 and 3. But TS-1 classes, the academic counselor Dr. Mo Roy, she has taken the classes, right? TS-1 foundation course in tourism.
Yes.
Yeah, Dr. Moore, I was there, no? So she was taking the classes, counseling classes of TS-1. So I'm taking TS-03. But ultimately, I'm the course coordinator for both the courses, TS-1 and 3. Similarly, my other faculty members, they are course coordinator of TS-4. Somebody will take TS-5, right? So different courses are there, no? So whenever you will send me mail, so always mention a query related to TS-3, so that it will come to me, right?
Yes, can we please have the PPTs
Kabiro,
for TS3?
are you getting my point, Kabiro?
Yes, I can get. I'm here with you. I can understand. But can we please have the PPTs for this TS3? The PPTs.
Ahmad is writing my email ID. You want my email ID? Kabiro, please repeat your question. Because Ahmad has sent a message. No, he needs my email ID.
Can we have the PPTs for this TS3? Let me just write it in the
PPTs, you are saying
comment
PPT?
section. Yes, yes, yes.
You want PPT? Okay, fine. PPT you will definitely get.
Yes,
Like
if
I have
possible,
shared my
we need
PPTs
the
today.
PPTs for this
Okay,
course.
then stop sharing also.
Okay, okay.
Definitely, I will share the PPTs. I will share the PPT. Okay, you will get it. And what's your name? Hamza Ahmad. You want email ID?
Yes, ma'am. So that in case if you have any question.
Yes, you can note down my email ID. Let me write in the chat box. Just a second. It is. Let me type it for you. Just a second. I'm writing my email ID. Just a second. It is just a second. Let me send first. Can you see it now?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very
Yes,
much.
yes, yes. That's it.
Yeah, it is Sonia Sharma. SONIASHARMA. It's my full name @igno.ac.in. Okay. So whenever you will ask any question, if you have any query, always mention it's related to TS-03 because I'm looking after the TS-03 course. Okay. If you have query related to TS-2 course or some other course, that will go to the some other faculty. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So you have the study material with you. Please go through the study material and prepare your assignments nicely. Write it clearly. Mention all important points. Underline them. It should be handwritten. Then once you will prepare your assignments properly, no, so you will be prepared for the term and examination also. Because once you will read it, you will write it. So automatically you will prepare for the examination also. So tourism is not difficult at all. It's very interesting subject. So give time, spare your 2 hours
Yes,
a
of
day at
course.
least. So prepare for assignments, prepare for the term and examination. So I hope definitely you all will really do good. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bashir?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, Bashir. Are you listening me, Bashir?
Yes, mom. Yes,
You
yes,
got me?
mom. I am
Yeah.
listening. I just want to say thank you all and
You got my email
take
ID?
no. Yeah, please repeat what you say, mom. So what?
You got my email ID? Email ID. If you
Yes, I got it. I got it,
note down.
mom. I got it.
So
Mom,
anything else?
mom. Yes, mom.
Hmm.
Mom.
Tell me.
Well, a couple questions I just want to raise. So you say that
Yeah, yeah. Now you
when
can
you
raise.
what when you give an assignment, terminal exam,
Uh,
so it's supposed to be handwritten. So how the submission of the assignment and the examination supposed to be? I know you talked about it last time, but I haven't joined the class on time. That's why I missed some of the explanation you made. So
okay,
after
okay.
you type,
See,
you say type it is handwritten. How the submission is supposed to
yes. See, yes, I will tell you. See, assignments, for example, assignment questions are there. So assignment questions, they are already uploaded on the website. And in your case, our IGNO Regional Center Bhubaneswar is coordinating. Kabiru, you want to say something?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. It's okay.
Okay. Okay, okay. Then assignment question papers, no, these are already uploaded on the website, right? So if you face any problem, our IGNO Regional Center Bhubaneswar, they are also coordinating this counseling classes and everything, this project. And usually we upload the question paper on the website. So you will take you will download the question paper, then you will write the assignments in the plain sheets. You will write the assignments. It should be handwritten. You will consult the study material, but don't copy it directly from the material. You just read it, your own words, your own this thing, thoughts, but don't just copy it. Okay, it should be your own words. It should not be copied directly from the material. But whatever word limit they've given, if they've given the 500 words, at least it should be, answer should be of that. So write it properly, nicely, underline the important points. Once you complete the assignment, then you need to submit it to your study center. But in your case, if they're given some special instructions, like if maybe you have to scan and upload it, whatever instructions they are given, you have to follow that. Usually, normally, what we tell our students, so they made the handwritten assignment and they submit to the study center. So in your case, if you have some study center, you submit there. Otherwise, whatever instructions are given to you, you follow that instruction. Maybe in your case, they will tell you scan it and upload it. If they told you like that, then you follow that instructions. But whatever deadlines they have given, please follow that deadlines. For example, if they have written before 31st of March, you have to submit the assignment. Please submit it before time, right? Bashir, you got my point?
Okay, if I got your words, I mean, it depends with the instruction that the study center gave the student to submit the assignment or examination, right?
Bashir, there was some network issue. You repeat your question.
I mean, it depends with the recommendation given by the school authority or center.
Can you repeat your question? There was some network issue.
There is technical problem. That's why you can you hear me now? Okay, it seems Kabir Bello want to say something.
Kabiru? Bashir, please repeat your question, Bashir.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
can't understand.
I think Bashir, you can
I
use
think the
chat
deadline of
box.
the assignment
Yes, he can write in chat box.
I think
Ahmad, clear to you,
the
Ahmad?
deadline of the
You will
assignment
only
is
need email ID.
1st March. Is it 1st March?
Mr. Kabir, can you turn off your mic list? So if you have a question to her, so we can give you a chance so that we might not be interrupted in your conversation between you and mom.
Yes, Bashir, tell me again. You were saying something. No, there was some network issue. I could not listen to you properly. Tell me your question again, Bashir.
Okay. Do you hear me properly right now? I say
Now,
it
yes, it's clear.
depends. Yes, I say if I got your words right, it depends with the recommendation that state center or school authority gives student to submit assignment or examination. Is it right? As you
That's
explained to me that
That's what I'm saying. No,
it should be.
yeah, in your case, no, I'm not sure. Whatever instructions you will get, accordingly, you have to follow. The instruction which I'm giving about the assignment, that is for our general students. So in your case, whatever instructions they've given, if they've given you some instructions at so and so study center, you have to submit the assignment before that particular date. So you have to follow that one. And in your case, if they said, okay, you just scan and upload your assignments, accordingly, you have to follow. Okay. So I was just giving the general instructions. This is how we are following for the assignments. Right?
Okay, man, that's what I mean. I mean, it depends with whatever instruction that the school gives the student to maybe upload it or scan it or whatever. So that's what
Yeah,
I
it
mean.
is
Is
not.
it okay?
Yeah, instructions will not be directly from the students, because see, there is a COE, Center for Online Education. They are the main. Then we have RC Bhubaneswar, IGNOR Regional Center Bhubaneswar. They are this coordinating all this activity. So whatever instructions you are getting from them, you have to follow that. Okay.
I did understand.
Sorry, you understood?
Understood.
Okay, fine. Okay. Kabiru, you want to say something?
So I think I have a technical issue here.
Okay, you have some technical issue. So I think we have discussed everything. It's already 5 o'clock. If there is no other questions, so we can end it now. We can close it.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, Noora said okay. So let's conclude it now. Okay, bye then. All my best to all of you.
Bye.
Okay, so see you tomorrow.
So see you tomorrow.
Okay, thank you,
Yeah,
ma'am.
fine. Bye.
Okay, bye bye.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Oga Awal ya yau na ji ka shiru.
Wallahi Malam Hamza, ai wannan karatun nata ne a concept din ka gane ba mu san irin concept din yana dan shiga duhu ne. So gwara mutum ya je ya karanta da kanka.
ai ni ma dai duk bana gane me take cewa sai kaɗan kaɗan nake tsinta.
Gashi ba dai kamar yadda aka saba bane, an dan san bambanci kaɗan.
Anna tana da saurin baki ba wannan.
Yawwa bakin nata ne tana da sauri kuma baya fita sosai magana.
Na tambayar question na assignment. Zan tura muku PDF din a group.
Okay, da mun ji daɗi.
Yawwa to turo mana ga.
Okay. Amma ni akwai wani abu da ban fahimta ba fa, wai maganar idan kai submitted din assignment din nan kai filling din examination form, wannan yana nufin kowa date din exam ɗinsa zai zo daban ne sai yanda kai filling ko kuma menene?
To gaskiya anan da Bashir yana nan da ya ka tambaye shi.
To gaskiya ina ga hakan ne fa kusan kowa exam ɗinsa kamar daban zai yi gaskiya. Tunda turu wannan video call ɗin na gaskiya exam ɗin ko kuma su santa haka.
Bisa yadda na fuskanci wannan magana kuma dama mun dan taɓa tattauna akan wannan batu, kowa exam ɗinsa daban zai yi, kuma study center ɗin da za su ware maka su za su tsara inda mutum zai je ya yi exam ɗinsa. Kamar yadda har ake gaya mana da cewa akwai wani software da za su yi amfani da shi, ko kyakkyawan motsi kai wanda ba su yarda da shi ba automatic za su yi dismissing ɗinka kan wannan exam ɗin da kake yi. Malawar to Malawar ya yi shiru kamar ya ɗan sassan wasu abubuwa dai a game da wannan abubuwa.
Daman ni ma na ji an ce kamar wajen yin exam shi level coordinator zai sa ido a kanka wanda za ku video call direct. Haka dai wani aboki na je na mun bayani.
Kamar hakan ne ma dai ina tunani.
Na ga shi computer science yake yi. Ya ce dai kawai level coordinator zai sa ido a kanka za ka zauna za ka yi exam on ta video call. Ina tunanin ko question za su yi tacin ɗinsu ne da video call ɗin ya ka dinga clicking ɗinsu ko wannan. Da ya dai yadda dai to yi.
Sannan kuma if that's the case, kamar na ga wani abu a wani abun PDF din da na tura a group, sai na ga kamar ma suna maganan question din da za su mana mu gaba ɗaya irin mai multiple choice din nan ne ko?
Haka ne, yanda ka bi instruction din nasu ka karanta kusan hakan ne gaskiya. Kusan hakan ne.
To, kuma me Allah ya sa mu dace dai, Allah ya ba mu sa'a.
Allah
ya taimaka.
Insha Allah.
Sai gobe insha Allah.